Welcome to Live Life on Purpose today. I'm your host, Kawanzaa King, and I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania today talking to Syreeta Scott, owner and founder of Duafe Holistic Hair Care.
Syreeta Scott, expert in the care of natural tresses. A holistic approach to hair care is the foundation of Duafe, a business she started over 10 years ago. It's no wonder that clients from all walks seek out Syreeta and the team she calls phenomenal, creative, and respecters of the craft. From Jill Scott to Janet Jackson, Smokey Robinson to Ty Tribbett, these and many more have experienced Duafe.
So I'm excited to talk to you about Duafe. And tell me, how did this become your passion?
It became my passion not living in one. So I started in corporate America a year and a half, miserable, going in crying, leaving out crying. Knew it wasn't the right environment for me. And I got this call from my girlfriend, and she said, "Come on, what you doing in the next 2 weeks?" I said, "Working." She said, "Well, I'm traveling through Italy, and we're going to spend some time in London. Are you down?" And I went, and that was it. And having that experience, because I'm a North Philly girl, to have that experience outside of my community, outside of my country, opened my eyes to what could, what can, and all I had to do was just position myself for it. So going back to a miserable job in corporate America after having that life-changing experience, my first time eating tiramisu, traveling around eating pizza everywhere, it was okay. But it was amazing to be able to have that experience. When I went back to corporate America, I knew I had to make my exit strategy, and that's what I did. I knew I was great at doing hair. It was something I did when I was younger, and I knew I could fall back on it. So I pulled $400 out of my 401k, and I started the business. So it was all sweat equity.
When did you begin envisioning this Duafe hair, holistic hair care studio?
When I started seeing women not being able to accept their own beauty. You know, I started out as a braider, but I wore my hair natural. And too often, you know, when you're braiding, you're spending these large, sometimes a half a day with people, depending upon the hairstyle. And just for them to have that conversation about their uncomfortability, about themselves, about the body that they were in, the hair that they were given, it made me sad. And I knew it was more than me just being a braider. I knew it was more than me just making people pretty. It was more so about me making people comfortable with themselves. For me, when I think of Duafe, for me, when I think of natural hair care, for me, when I think of black women, I think of us having, being more compassionate, not just to ourselves, but also to our, oh my God. Yes, to each other, yeah.
Like you said, you were originally from North Philly. Okay, so you grew up, born and raised?
Born and raised. My mother had 10 siblings. We had many cousins, and we had every urban experience to ketchup sandwiches, sugar sandwiches.
Tell me about some of your influences growing up in an urban community.
I was surrounded with extremely strong women. My mom would always say, "Don't let anybody take anything from you." And she meant that in the sense of not someone stealing from you, but you know, if you go to work, you're present, you make sure that you do the best job ever. 100% just wasn't good enough. If you can just give a little more push towards, lean in, that the rewards will come. I took that to heart, and it wasn't easy because I was also learning disabled. So with dyslexia and everything else that was on top of it, it was, all right, I had barriers. I have certain situations that's extremely hard for me, but how do you work around it?
Dyslexia. Right. How do you share that story and tell people that, you know, this is something that I endured and overcame?
I thank God for being dyslexic. I really couple that, I add that on to me being successful. Because what being learning disabled dyslexic did for me was I couldn't give up. You know, for me, living life on purpose means getting out of here and moving more on here. You know, there's times you grow out your dream. And I feel like Duafe was a blessing to me with me standing behind the chair, but it will hold me back with the things that I want to do if I don't stand in front of the chair. I don't know. It's time for me to start talking to women. It's time for me to start talking to Black women in a larger form. And because, as I said, that self-love piece isn't there. Living life on purpose means that, you know, I can help one woman or more feel more confident about themselves, not just in their body image, but just in who they are when they say I am.
Right.